What is up, y'all? Fight Fiend Migs here, coming at you with a new video live on location from the MGM Grand parking lot. As you guys may or may not know, sometimes you are not able to record inside the casino for obvious reasons. You can't record in there. There's the strip behind me, the lovely strip behind me. I made it down to the MGM Grand for the grand arrivals. As you can tell, it's hot as fuck. It really is hot as hell. So if you don't mind, I'm going to be eating some Haagen-Dazs ice cream while I'm recording this prediction video, because I posted a video on my YouTube channel for the grand arrivals of Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford. So I went ahead and posted that on my YouTube channel, so make sure to check that out. It's basically just them arriving into the lobby, now going up to that makeshift stage and doing their thing, talking for a little bit, then heading off to their fucking hotel rooms. But anyway, what you guys are here for, this is the official Terence Crawford, oh shit, yeah, I guess things are loud in the parking lot, huh? The official Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence Jr. fight prediction. Now, I will not be in town for the fight. It just so happens I'm going to be driving to Salt Lake City, Utah from Vegas in a nice little road trip for UFC 291. It just so happens I bought the tickets for UFC 291 right before they announced Spence versus Crawford. And of course, the rumors were going around that the fight was going to happen in late July. And then, you know, how many times has that happened already with Spence and Crawford, and it didn't go through? So I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to buy the tickets, whatever. And then the fight gets signed. There was a part of me that was like, oh, I hope somebody gets injured and the fight gets postponed, or somebody gets the Rona or some shit and, you know, the fight gets postponed. That didn't happen, of course. Why would it? So, yeah, ultimately, I got the tickets for UFC 291 that I will be attending as a spectator, not media or anything. So I will not be in town for that. As a matter of fact, I take off Thursday, so I won't even be in town for the weigh-ins. I'm going to be at the weigh-ins for the UFC 291 in Salt Lake City. So, this is why I'm recording now, making a video now for my official Spence versus Crawford fight prediction. Okay, so while I get another scoop of this, because it's fucking hot. And, by the way, Spence made his weight a lot. We were in the lobby, you know, and you'll see the video. We're in the lobby. There's like a lot of people around. They have that ring, you know, with the lion in the center. And the undercard guys, you know, like the main pay-per-view guys like Pitbull Cruz and his opponent and Nonito Donaire, they came up to the stage, right? They did their thing, and then right as like 4 o'clock started to hit, Crawford arrived. He didn't really stay too long, but nonetheless, he arrived when he was supposed to. Spence took a hot minute. I mean, they both kind of took a little bit longer, but damn, Spence made his weight like a motherfucker. So we were all boiling in there because they actually have the doors of the lobby open, you know, for when the fighters get in there. So it wasn't like, I mean, we were in the AC, but we can feel the heat coming through the doors because all the AC was escaping through the lobby doors because they had them open. So anyway, we're sweating the bullets open there, and on my way out, I decided to get some Haagen-Dazs. It's actually my favorite flavor, coffee ice cream, specifically from Haagen-Dazs. But you guys are not here for that. You guys are here for the Spence and Crawford prediction. Okay, so it's been a while since Crawford actually has gone the distance. I believe it was like 2018 or actually before then. It was with Victor Postal, I think, the last time that Crawford went the distance, which was a while. I think 2017, 2016, around there. Spence damn near always goes the distance. You know, obviously his last fight didn't with Ugas. I think it ended late in the fight, 11th, 10th round, something like that, right? Because of the TKO stoppage, right? The doctor stoppage. But that was Spence's last fight that didn't go the distance. But everything prior to that, fights with Porter, fight with Garcia, both Garcias, Danny Garcia and Mikey Garcia, they went the distance. So I suspect this fight is going to most likely go the distance as well. I don't think anybody's going to get knocked out. However, if anybody does get knocked out, it is going to be Crawford. I don't think he has the power to hurt Spence. I think he has the skill to hang in there with Spence. I have to. It feels like it's a size thing. Like Crawford isn't big enough. Now, today is Tuesday, earlier today in Japan, Naoya Inoue defeated Stephen Fulton, who himself, the monster, Inoue, was moving up in weight from 118 to 122, and he smashed Fulton. I mean, he fucking smashed him. So that is maybe that's an omen for the smaller guy beating the bigger dude, because granted, Crawford has been at welterweight for a while now, but Crawford has fought as lightweight, 135, and he's now at 147. So to me, he seems like he probably can still make 140, honestly. I don't think he even is a real, true welterweight. Spence is. As a matter of fact, if you guys watch that video of the Grand Arrivals, Spence himself says after he beats Crawford and unifies the titles, he's going to be done with his business at welterweight and then move up, and then his strap season again. Well, if that means he's moving up to 154, which is the next logical weight class, and he's going to try to unify or get all the straps there, that means a potential showdown with Charlo. And I get the Charlos mixed up, so the 154 Charlo. He might have to wait until after Charlo, fights Canelo, and then maybe comes back to 154 and defends his titles against Tim Tszyu, if that happens at all. If not, Tim Tszyu might get, leapfrogged, and it might be Spence versus Charlo. Who the fuck knows? But if that is the case, that is something that'd be pretty cool. As a matter of fact, even if Tim Tszyu wins and he fights Spence at 154, that'd be pretty badass. But my point in saying this is that Spence is naturally the bigger dude. He's fought pretty much the majority of his career at welterweight, so that dude is naturally bigger than Crawford. So I think that size is going to help him quite a bit. It's going to help him take Crawford's shots. It might not help him in the speed aspect, but it should be able to help him. Hopefully this isn't too loud. Sorry guys, I like recording in parking lots, but maybe it's a little bit too loud. I should stop doing that maybe. So I suspect that Spence's size is going to play a pretty big factor. He's going to be able to take Crawford's punches, and I don't think Crawford is going to be able to take Spence's punches as good. Now, I'm not saying that Spence is going to knock Crawford out, but he's going to hurt him. He's going to hurt him. I'm almost certain that he's going to be able to earn his respect. Crawford is going to go into the fight with a little bit of anger. The constant trying to make this fight happen, and at least on the outside, from a fan's perspective, it kind of seemed like it was Spence and PBC and Al Heyman who didn't want to make the fight happen, and it was actually Spence who was pushing to make the fight happen. I'm sorry, it was actually Crawford who was trying to make the fight happen. He was the one that was pushing, and Spence wasn't. And I think because of that, Crawford's going to go into the fight with a little bit of anger. He's got a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. Like, no, man, I've been trying to make this fight for a minute. You've been fucking ducking me. I'm going to make you pay. And when he goes into this fight, I think he's going to go in a little reckless. And I think that is going to force Spence to check him early. Like, Crawford is going to go in there pressuring early on, and Spence is going to have to check him. Spence is going to have to earn his respect, basically, and keep him at bay with his power, with the jab in particular. We are talking about a southpaw versus orthodox, and generally speaking, the southpaws have the advantage because, it's pretty difficult to fight against southpaws. On top of the fact that Crawford does switch back and forth between orthodox and southpaw, so I'm not really sure how much of an advantage that is going to be for Spence, but I'm almost certain that jab of his, that right jab, is going to play a pretty big major factor. Oh, some jackass parked behind me. Okay, so to not make this video any longer, I sense like this is going to be a matter of who can take whose shot better, and I think Spence can take Crawford's better than Crawford can take Spence. I don't think that Crawford is going to be able to hurt Spence. A lot of those rounds are going to be very close. I'm almost certain. There's a car coming, hang on. I'm almost certain that this fight is going to go the full 12 rounds. I don't think it's going to end before the 12 rounds. And I think that Spence is going to eke out the decision. So if we're going to, gun to my head, I have to make a decision, because I've gone back and forth on this a couple of times, and this is the first time in a long time that, I don't know who's going to win, for them. And as a matter of fact, if you guys watched the Grand Arrivals earlier today, I didn't record it I didn't put it on my YouTube channel, but they had Porter up on stage with Ray Flores, basically talking about this fight, and he talked about this fight, how sometimes in fights, previous fights, you kind of know who's going to win. You know who's the heavy favorite. Crawford is the favorite in this one, as a matter of fact, but not by that much. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know who's going to win, obviously, right? That's a toss-up, because this really is a toss-up. But if I had to choose, I think the weight advantage, the power of Spence is going to play the major role. I suspect that this fight is going to go the 12 rounds, and Spence is going to eke out a decision. I'm going to say it won't be, I want to say 115-113, right? 7 rounds to 5. It might even be 8 rounds to 4 for Spence, I think. So I'm going to go that route. I don't think that Crawford is going to have the kind of power to be able to hurt Spence, and going the decision, I don't think he gets the nod. I think Spence gets it, going the decision. So that's going to be my final prediction without making this video any longer. It's already at the 11-minute mark. So that's my prediction. I'm going to go with Errol Spence Jr. Defeating Terence Crawford, and he will be the undisputed welterweight champion, and then move up to junior middleweight, and then see what he can do at that weight class. All right, guys, without taking on too much more of your time, thank you. I'm going to take another scoop of this shit. Thank you once more for stopping by and checking out my videos. By all means, if you agree or disagree, please let me know. Let me know why, of course. Don't just say, oh, it's one or the other, because anybody can take a guess. It's a 50-50 coin toss, really. So if it's going to go one way, let me know, and then we can talk about it, because I enjoy talking about it. So anyway, thanks once more for stopping by. I might record one more video for maybe the UFC 291 main event prediction, perhaps while I'm driving, while I'm on the road. That'd be kind of cool. I like doing that. So anyway, thanks for stopping by once more, guys. Enjoy the fights. Hopefully this fight ends up being one to remember. I actually bought the fight poster from the merch stand earlier while I was inside. Looking forward to it. I hope you guys enjoy it as well, and I will talk to you guys later.